So in this video, I'm answering a couple questions that I've seen across some different Reddit boards on digital products. All right, so one of the first questions here is, how much should I charge for my digital product? Now, this might sound like a very basic question, but there's a fundamental answer. Okay, there's a fundamental answer, and there's other parts to the question, but I'm not going to go into it because I don't think it's applicable to everybody or a lot of the people in this community. So, how much should I charge for my digital product? The first big thing that you have to think about when you think of pricing is the perceived value of the transformation that they're going to be experiencing on the other side of it, right? On the other side of gaining access. So you have to think, all right, well, if somebody gets this transformation, like let's say you're helping them with money, or you're helping them with relationships, or you're helping them with health, right? Let's say it's relationships, because this is where a lot of people have some trouble. Look up the prices of therapy. Look up the prices of therapy, and then say, all right, well, people that have family-related issues, how much per hour do they spend on therapy? And how many weeks do they have to go to therapy? And then how many books do they have to normally purchase for therapy? And how much do the retreats that get thousands of people normally cost, right? What's going to happen is you're going to start to add all that stuff up, and you're going to be like, dang, people are spending thousands of dollars on solving this particular problem. And based off of what you're offering within your own, attempt to get them to experience that same transformation, you might address a percentage of that, or you might address the majority of it, depending on what you offer, right? But you can start to at least use that as a baseline. That's relationships, right? Let's say it's a matter of wealth, making money. Start to look at, like, let's say you help someone go through a particular transformation. What will they get on the other side of it? Are they going to start making more money? How much? How much? Conservatively, how much? How much sense can you make out of them, like, experiencing that? Like, are they going to make an extra $1,000 a month? Are they going to make an extra $5,000? Are they going to make an extra $4,000? And then what I normally do is I'll take that number and I'll divide it by like 3. So if I know I can help somebody make 3,000, I tell them, let me help you make 1. And the reason I do that is because I'm gonna make full sense out of the 3, but I want them to know that even the 1 is possible. If they're excited about the 1, then that means that they'll get really excited about the 3. So when it comes to relationships, health, wealth, even in health, when you start to look at what people can get from being healthier, it's not just about having a better body, or it's not just about, like having a little bit more energy. It's about what they're gonna do with it. Okay, what are you gonna do with that extra energy that you're gonna get? What are you gonna do with that better body that you're gonna get? Once you get them excited about the utility of that transformation, that's when people start to get excited about investing in it. Okay, so pricing, there's a lot more to this, right? I'm not a fan of round numbers when it comes to pricing. Like, if you want to price something at $100, like don't price it at $100. $100 is too flat. There are already a number of studies that show that when people see flat numbers, they tend to perceive it very differently than looking at a number that seems as though it had some type of calculated approach towards producing it, right? So $100, no, $97, $98. Those are two. It's a couple dollars off, right? But it's very different prices. Okay. The other thing too, when it comes to pricing, and this is the last thing before I go on to the next topic here. There's two sides to, like, pricing, right? There's the price of things, and then there's the cost of things. I'm going to say it again. There's the price of things, and then there's the cost of things. The price of things is what you typically pay now. So I'm going to pay this money right now, and that's the price of something to exchange that, to make that exchange, right? The cost of things is what is paid over time, whether you do something or whether you don't. Okay, so on the cost side, what does it cost you? There's a cost to inaction and there's a cost to action. All right, so when you look at inaction, how much will you lose, or how much will you still have to pay if you don't buy this thing? there's always opportunity costs for inaction. Let's say there's action. The cost won't be in the positive, like it won't be like you're putting out money. The cost could be in the negative. So you got to look at the cost of things and then look at the price of things. And that's what should enable you to start to speak to what they would be exchanging right now. All right. Let me look through these other questions here because this is really good stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna summarize. This question's kind of long, but the question is around high ticket versus low ticket. Okay, high ticket versus low ticket. If you don't know what this is, a high ticket item is like a premium item, like you're selling a $5,000 signature program or a $3,000 signature program. Low ticket would be you're selling a $50 ebook, workbook, series. You're selling access to a mastermind or something like that. Or master class, sorry, not mastermind, master class. So if you are, when you're looking at low ticket and high ticket, there are a couple of different things to balance in this space, okay? I've done both, and I'll tell you, there are certain things that I'm just not a fan of both, okay? So let me walk you through a couple of them. Let me speak from a high level first. So when it comes to business, I've never spoken to a business owner that tells me that they don't want to make a lot, right? Like you want to make a lot of money. So you naturally start to think, all right, well, I need to just start raising my prices. I need to be more expensive. Like that's normally what you think about when you say like, I want to make more money, right? Now the reason that's funny is because when you start to think high ticket and when you start to think escalating in value delivery, oftentimes you would correlate making more with higher ticket. But the problem with that is there's other internal expenses that's going to come with higher ticket. You have to sell higher ticket. Higher ticket isn't something that you're not going to run an ad to somebody. They're going to see an ad and say, oh my gosh, I can get this training from Mike for only $5,000. Buy. That's not how that works, okay? You typically have to be sold something at that level. So it's a matter of like, hey, hop on this assessment call, this consultation call, jump on this webinar. After the webinar, I need to get you on a call because I need to sell you on buying it. Even I have to use tactics to get you to buy, right? Like I have to say, well, look, hey, most of my customers or most of my clients, they normally don't want to invest $5,000 up front, but what's more suitable for them is $1,000 per month for 6 months. All right, that's more suitable. They have a runway and they get to see the results without having to put the full 5. However, you are incentivized by just paying everything up front, so you can do that as well, right? It's up to you. Now, with that, again, I have to sell. I got to get on. I got to ask them questions. I got to find out who they are. Then I got to use sales methods to be able to get them. High ticket has to be sold. A lot of people, if you don't like sales, you hire people to do sales. But again, that eats into your margins, right? So high ticket's great, but it has to be sold. The transformation that people get from high ticket is also very different than like significant low ticket, right? So there's a couple different sides to low ticket, which I'll cover in a moment. But again, high ticket has to be sold and high ticket has to be serviced, okay? There has to be support. If someone invests $5,000 for some type of training or something like that, and they're not feeling like they got their money's worth, you are going to have a problem. You have most likely a $5,000 problem, all right? Maybe even more, because there are some people that'll take it a couple steps further. So, has to be sold, has to be serviced, has to be supported. You better make sure that you're delivering value. I oftentimes have found that there are some high ticket offerings, depending on what stage of business and what stage in like your transformation development you're in. There are some people that will end up selling high ticket, but then delivering extreme high ticket or extreme high value or extreme high time. So yeah, it's $5,000 you got paid, but you're working with this person now for 7-8 months. You've been getting on the phone with them every single week, and you're now at a point where you're making like $20 an hour because you have to go above and beyond for them, all right? I get it. Different world than low ticket. Low ticket, a little different, right? Low ticket is, like let's say it's a $50 product. You create as many assets as possible around that $50 offering so that you can get them to understand the benefit and the transformation that they'll get from the low ticket offering. That low ticket offering should not require too much energy from you. It should not require you to be getting on one-on-one calls. It shouldn't require a lot, but it should still provide them with a sense of framework, if they follow it, to be able to experience a portion of a transformation or the transformation itself. With me, I actually am a favorite now of low ticket coupled with community. Low ticket coupled with community, because you get people to buy into wanting the transformation, but then you have the community organically serve everyone's aspirations or desire to be held accountable or the desire to ask questions. So now it's not just everything flowing through one person, it's a matter of everybody sharing their experiences, and you're moderating and you're managing, right? That's what I like. I'm a fan of it. That's why I have my community here, because I like to moderate more so than like directly do high ticket now. And I like to be able to make it affordable so that more people can get exposed to these opportunities. All right, I like it to be affordable. So with low ticket, you create as many assets as possible. It might be a series of videos. It might be a webinar. It might be some long form overview of what they're gonna get out of getting this low ticket item. You might be speaking as well to the pain that they're looking to address. All of this can be created and produced in a way so that people say, hey, you know what? It's only $50. It's only $100. It's only $150. Like, they'll look at it as that, and they'll buy. The other side to low ticket that you can do as well is you can offer money back guarantees. Now, I've been preaching this for over a year now. I've been telling a lot of creatives, listen, on the low ticket side, you need to be okay with money back guarantees. And the reason why is because nothing that was requested or received from you, you can't get back. Like your time, you cannot get that back. So I can't give you time and then you get a refund, right? That's very different. But you buying a $50 item and you not being happy, there's outside of me making the money and me and of course I don't spend it immediately. Outside of me making the money, that's the extent of the exchange at this point. All right, so with low ticket, it's really important that you offer these money back guarantees so that you minimize the barrier to consumption. You have to minimize the barrier to consumption. If your barrier to consumption is up here, then people are gonna have a hard time spending even $50 with you. Think about this. Years ago, I remember buying things from Walmart and Target. And I remember before I went back to, like, if I had to return something, I recall having to think about some type of excuse before I return stuff. I remember these days, like I had to think about an excuse before I return something. And if you think about how times are right now, I mean, you could return opened milk. You could return anything. There's very few questions that's asked now. Why? Because people feel comfortable buying and consuming because in their head they think or they know that they can take it back, even if the majority of them don't. There were already studies that were done that shows the majority of people don't bring stuff back. So the majority of people don't spend the time to bring stuff back, but now they feel comfortable buying. It's all about getting people to feel comfortable buying. All right, so again, low ticket, high ticket, how much should I price my digital product? My hope is that you got some value from this video. There's much more to experience inside of this community. If you're interested in joining, somewhere around this video, at the bottom of this page, there's going to be a button for you to be able to join. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you on the inside. All right? Peace.